The ancient pyramids of Egypt have inspired awe and wonder for thousands of years. These massive structures are shrouded in mystery, and there are many myths and misconceptions surrounding them. Today, we will explore 5 mind-blowing myths about the Egyptian pyramids that have been busted by archaeologists. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get notified of new videos. 1. The Great Pyramid of Giza was built as a tomb for an Egyptian pharaoh. This is perhaps the most enduring myth about the pyramids, but it's not entirely accurate. While it's true that the pyramids were used as tombs, they weren't intended as lavish resting places for the pharaohs. In fact, the Egyptians believed that the pharaoh's soul would travel to the afterlife immediately after death, leaving their physical body behind. It was only later that the idea of mummification developed. As a result, the pyramids were initially built as massive stone chambers, where the pharaoh's body could be placed after death. But they weren't meant to be buried with the pharaoh's belongings, or to serve as a final resting place. Instead, the chambers were more like storage rooms for preserving the body, until it could be moved to a final burial site. For example, some bodies were eventually moved to underground burial chambers, while others were placed in stone coffins, known as sarcophagi. The discovery of these burial practices suggests that the pyramids were never intended as permanent tombs, but rather as temporary holding places for the bodies of deceased pharaohs. 2. Inside the Great Pyramid of Giza, there's a secret, undiscovered chamber that contains the body of an unknown pharaoh. This theory began circulating in 2017, when a team of researchers claimed to have found evidence of a void space within the pyramid, using non-invasive techniques, such as infrared scanning and computer tomography. However, further investigation using more advanced methods has failed to confirm the existence of this alleged secret chamber. In fact, a study published in the Journal of Archaeological Science in 2018 found no evidence of a void space or hidden chamber. The researchers concluded that the earlier findings were likely the result of measurement errors and natural variations in the density of the limestone blocks. Moreover, even if a secret chamber did exist within the pyramid, it's unlikely to contain the body of an unknown pharaoh. The Egyptians kept meticulous records of their burial practices, and it would have been highly unusual to hide the burial place of a pharaoh. Additionally, the body of a pharaoh would have been heavily guarded, and it's unlikely that it would have been left undiscovered for so long. 3. All 3 pyramids of Giza were originally smooth and white. Contrary to popular belief, the Giza pyramids were not originally smooth and white, but rather had rough and uneven surfaces. They were built from limestone, which was quarried nearby and transported to the construction site using ramps and levers. As the pyramids were constructed, the stones were carefully fitted together to form a smooth surface. However, this was not because they were intended to be white, but rather because it was easier to quarry and transport the limestone in that shape. The limestone blocks were also coated with a thin layer of plaster to help protect them from erosion and make them appear smoother. Over time, this plaster has worn away, revealing the rougher limestone beneath. Additionally, the Egyptians did not use white limestone for building materials, as it was considered too soft and expensive. Instead, they typically used granite, which was harder and more durable. Therefore, it's highly unlikely that the pyramids were ever white. 4. The Egyptian pyramids were built by slaves. This is a common misconception that has been perpetuated by popular culture, but it's not supported by historical evidence. In fact, the pyramids were built by skilled laborers who were paid for their work. There is evidence that the workers who built the pyramids lived in a nearby town called Dashur, and they were provided with housing, food, and other amenities. They were also likely given time off to celebrate religious holidays. While it's true that slavery existed in ancient Egypt, there is no evidence that slaves were used to build the pyramids. In fact, the Egyptians took great pride in their monumental constructions, and it's unlikely that they would have allowed slaves to participate in such an important project. Additionally, the skills required to build the pyramids, such as surveying, engineering, and stonemasonry, were highly specialized, and it's unlikely that slaves would have had the opportunity to receive this type of training. Therefore, the idea that the pyramids were built by slaves is a myth that has no basis in reality. 5. The Egyptian pyramids were built using advanced technology. This is a popular conspiracy theory that suggests that the pyramids were not built using traditional methods, but rather with the help of advanced technology. Proponents of this theory claim that the pyramids are aligned with the stars, and that they were built using tools that are not available today. However, there is no evidence to support this claim. In fact, the alignment of the pyramids with the stars is a coincidence. and can be explained by the fact that the Egyptians observed the night sky and incorporated astronomical phenomena into their architecture and planning. The idea that they used advanced technology to align the pyramids is unfounded. Additionally, the tools used to build the pyramids have been well documented, and there is no evidence of any advanced or extraterrestrial technology being used in their construction. The pyramids were built using simple tools such as hammers, chisels, and levers, which were powered by human muscle. While it's true that the Egyptians were skilled engineers and architects, there is no evidence that they used advanced technology to build the pyramids. The idea that they did is a myth that has no basis in reality. While there are many fascinating theories and myths surrounding the Egyptian pyramids, it's important to rely on evidence-based information when exploring these ancient structures. The pyramids are truly remarkable achievements of engineering and architecture, and they continue to inspire awe and wonder today. But it's also important to separate fact from fiction and to be critical of unsubstantiated claims. As we learn more about the pyramids through ongoing research and exploration, we may uncover new insights into how these magnificent structures were built and the secrets they hold. However, it's crucial to approach these discoveries with a healthy dose of skepticism and to ensure that they are supported by evidence before accepting them as fact. The Egyptian pyramids are a testament to the ingenuity and hard work of the ancient Egyptians, and it's important to honor their legacy by understanding the truth about these iconic structures. Thank you for joining us on this journey of discovery as we continue to explore the mysteries of the ancient world. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get notified of new videos. And be sure to leave your thoughts and comments below.